Okay.
Right? This is quite a few years ago. This fella sort of upset the royal family doing something, right? So they said that this isn't good.
It wasn't Ben Alton at that Jubilee thing, was it?
I can't remember what it was, and they said, right,
That was terrible.
We're gonna cut your head off. You know, you gotta show people that you can't be doing what you've been doing.
What was this, the 1970s? Well, when you say a couple of years ago, you mean maybe sort of...
Was it the olden days when the phones weren't very good?
Ages ago.
Yeah.
Ages ago, sure.
So yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So
very philosophical.
Yeah, imagine that when you watching this.
Cut your head off.
This was
fair enough.
literally ages ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, go
Simon
on.
Sharma's History of Britain.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
and even before that, which is yonks before, when it was all mental and different. Sorry, Carl, go on.
So he's having his head cut off, and he's resigned to it.
it's a day before. He's kind of got it into his head now that I'm not going to have my head much longer.
Sure.
So he said, let's make use of this.
Yeah.
He said, I wonder how long like the body can stay alive without my head on it, right? So they were like, oh, I don't know. So
Who were?
so
The jailers?
whoever he was asking.
These jailers with one eye.
Yeah.
Get that punk.
So he said,
No, wait a minute, I've got an interesting scientific experiment, jailer. Well,
Yeah.
fair enough.
What is it?
So he said, what I want to do, right? He said, you know, surely it's my last right. You know, I'm gonna be dead tomorrow.
Sure.
So let's
He
do a
didn't
test.
draw it out this long, did he?
Yeah, he said, let's test this out. You know, he said, do us a favour. He said, you know, it's my last day. What I want you to do is, you're going to cut my head off. Let's put a white line on the floor
Right.
and see if, you know, because there's no point asking how far he can sort of walk without an head if there isn't a line, because you don't know what to count. Do you know what I mean? If he loses his head and he's running around all over the place, you can't really count
That's
that.
not impressive enough, yeah.
So they said, let's make a white line.
Sure.
Yeah. Who said
And-
this? He did or they did?
I think they started to join in with him and saying, well, let's make this a... you
Sure.
know.
You guess it. Go on.
So...
They got Norris McWhirter down. The Guinness people.
Oh. Yeah.
So they said, let's get this white line,
Yeah.
and
Dedication's all he needs.
we'll do this. We'll do this tomorrow. And he said, all right, then, I'll see you in the morning.
See you in the morning. I'll see you in the morning. Night, night. Sleep tight. Bye, bye.
I love the fact that Carl knows exactly what was said.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, he doesn't know the story
Yeah.
or what order it's in
Yeah,
or when
but
it
he knows
was.
exactly what
or
was
who
said.
said what, but he knows the intricacies. All right then, see you in the morning. Bye, little kissy, kissy, kissy. Oh, I'm not like that. Oh, you joker.
Oh, don't let the bed bugs bite.
Yeah. Anyway,
So he gets up.
do you want a paper tomorrow? No, I'm all right. Go on.
He gets up, and they say, right, you know, today's the day and that. And he said, well, you know, I've got used to the idea. So here's the white line for you.
Got used to the idea. Go on.
So they go, right, you ready then? And he said, I go on. And they cut his head off, and the body walked 32 steps without a head.
Wow.
32 steps.
Incredible.
And that's the lesson, really.
Did it get as far as it walked along the white line, did it?
Yeah, it stayed along the white line, did 32 steps, and then started to stumble a bit, and it just fell over.
Yeah.
But,
It
you know,
will
it was
do.
a test that your body can still keep alive for a little bit
Yeah.
when you've lost your head.
Absolute twaddle. Absolute twaddle.
What do you reckon you can do then without an head? How many steps?
Nothing.
There'd be muscular spasm, right?
Yeah. It would twitch a bit.
It would, yeah. You could not distinctly take 32 steps. The body... Well, don't...
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
the doctor still on the line?
Yeah.
The fella that bought 6 parrots.
Yeah.
And, you know, you could
Incredible.
have got 32 steps.
Right, so
A
you don't
beheaded
believe
man
that.
doing a bit of line dancing.
Right, you don't believe that, but something that you do believe that a cockroach can live a week without an head.
It can. Slightly different. Slightly different kettle of fish there.
Why?
Wow. Insect to human is what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
that
well,
difference.
there's not that much difference in
Well, of
some
course there
insects.
is.
Do you know that a snake has a heart and lungs and kidneys and stuff?
Go on.
No, well, I'm just saying.
So?
You're making out as if like they're a totally different like being.
Species. I am making that up. I mean, call me
Rick,
old-fashioned.
Do you know what you're talking about? I don't want you embarrassing yourself, Rick.
Yeah, I am suggesting they're totally different beings. Yeah, that is. Yeah. Now, Carl, the cockroach is a very different thing. The interesting there is that it lives without its head, because a lot of it's on. There's some of them are phototropic, chemotropic. Some of them just literally have irritation and muscle memory. I mean, they do have a central nervous system, but it's very different. So if you lose the head, it bypasses a lot of that anyway. All this is run around. The reason it dies is because it can't take on water. But it's very different to a man, right, having consciousness and then losing that, and the body still going, no, I think I remember what I was going to do here.
Yeah, so
I'm going to carefully
walking along
walk
the white line.
32 steps along this white line. Imagine just looking down going, oh, missed a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe the head was in the corner going, left,
Yeah.
left, left. Oh, he's now...
Well, let's just put it out. I mean, if anyone listening has maybe had a relative beheaded, maybe in a horrendous car accident, but they got up, maybe they went for a walk, they had a little chat before they passed on.
Carl.
Get in touch.
Carl, you are my favourite being. You are my favourite species.
Now, you, Carl, may not be particularly different genetically from a cockroach.
You
But
are.
why can
generally
cockroaches do that? Why whoever made them went...
When I told him this fact, I send him little facts on text message just to inflame his, interest. I just sent him a cockroach can live 9 days without its head. He texted back, "What's the point of that?
Yeah.
What's the point of
They're
that?"
not doing experiments, these cockroaches.
It's a boring last week to have.
And he went, and on top of all that, you're thirsty. So
Yeah.
it's the worst week of your life, isn't it? That week without your head.
Other things, right, that are weird in the world.
Yeah,
do you
go
know
on,
you're
Carl.
always like...
Yeah.
You're going on about there's no ghosts and stuff,
Yeah.
right? How do you answer this one?
Yeah.
Someone here who I work with,
Yeah.
right? I'm not going to say they are because it doesn't matter. But they were eating space cake, right?
What do you mean by that, Carl? Explain.
What's a space cake?
For people who...
It's some sort of druggy cake, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
A dope brownie or whatever, yeah.
Right.
So with something with cannabis in it, is that what you're saying?
I think it's something stronger than that, isn't it? I don't know. But anyway, he was having this space cake. And
You better give me the name now, Carl, because I've got to report him.
no, listen.
It's
listen,
only, no,
it
'cause
really
is
doesn't
still,
matter.
No.
Is it Sturgis? Was it Claire Sturgis?
Yeah,
She
let's say
wouldn't
it
bother
is.
with. She's gone on the hardest. She doesn't
Sure,
bother with
yeah,
dope.
she's just
It
jabbing straight up.
doesn't do anything to her
Straight
now.
to the vein, yeah.
So listen,
Yeah.
right? So he's at a party, right,
Yeah.
with his mates, and they're listening to the Star Sailor album, right?
Right.
And he's sat there, and he's had some of this cake,
Right.
and he's listening to the album, and his mate's sat across the way talking to someone else, right?
That's weird.
The album's on, and he thinks to himself, this track's going on a bit.
Yeah.
And his mate across the way, who's talking to someone else,
Heard him say it.
heard him say it, and he goes,
Yeah.
yeah, it isn't it?
Yeah.
So he goes, oh,
Right.
and he goes,
See, usually at this point, I say, had this bloke taken drugs, but you started the story
Yeah.
with this bloke
no.
had done some
But
drugs,
since,
right, Rick?
no, if he was here now,
Yeah.
right, he would say, yeah, I know it sounds mental,
Yeah.
but it happened. And
Yeah.
it wasn't just a one question. It wasn't just like, oh, this track's a bit long, innit? Yeah, it is.
He had a
It
whole
was
conversation.
A whole conversation
Sure.
with the guy. And
Yeah.
they've-
What,
and
but
they've-
sorry, I just want to clarify. You mean he had the whole conversation telepathically?
Yeah.
Right. He
And-
didn't just shout across the
And
room.
they've recently met up and like they've sat there and tried to like work out what happened. And it's never happened
Presumably, they
again.
don't have to talk at all anymore.
Yeah. Why did they meet up? Couldn't they have just done it like in their own homes? Just stay at home.
Do they have to have that cake before they
Yeah, before they
start
have
having
to
a
chat.
conversation? Hold on, wait a minute, lads. Why are we using our lips?
Yeah.
This is using way too many. Oh, take them. There you go.
My only question with that is, being sceptics like Ricky and I, whenever we hear a story like that about the paranormal, the first thing we always look for is maybe some other explanation.
Yeah.
Maybe one vague idea.
Lying.
Could be lying.
Chinese
Or-
whisper.
As I think you pointed out, there are drugs. It's often,
Drugs.
an issue as well.
Madness.
Yeah.
Fear. Delusion. Sleep. You've got a real problem with Rick Waller, haven't you?
I just,
And he's
he
probably
turns my stomach.
I know, but don't
'Cause he's
don't say
arrogant
that.
as well, though.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Don't explain to people that.
No,
you
he
know,
is a bit arrogant.
It's his whole thing that it's the whole package, so to speak, that you don't.
Well, there's
like.
another thing in this quote because
It's
he's
not just the fact that he eats too much.
he tried apparently to lose some weight, and he said the first month I lost 11 pounds, the next I lost a stone, but in the third my body did somersaults and I put on 9 pounds. I had a slip up. I can't say when, why, or how, but it just sneaked up on me.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Don't believe it just sneaked up on
That
him.
body's never done a somersault
No.
in its life.
No, it just sneaked up on him.
Me, yeah.
It was the cakes again.
Yeah.
It was the same old cakes as before. It was exactly the same problem.
Sleep eating.
Yeah.
it's called.
It was the KFC bucket again. It was the
Oh,
family-sized
dear.
KFC bucket
Oh,
for breakfast.
Poor man. The other thing is that I don't think that's a very good shock tactic for a doctor to tell a 20-something, well, to be honest, you've got 20 years to live.
Yeah.
That's not...
Doesn't mean anything
and
when
when
you're
I was 20, the thought of dying at 40 was fine.
Yeah.
I didn't want to live to 40. I
Yeah.
just thought, oh, what can you do when you're 40?
Yeah.
Just laying around doing nothing.
Eating cheese. And then you got there and you discovered...
No, but someone said
a dream came true.
Sophie here sent me something, and she says, I realise you're not Graham Norton, but I had to send you this. And she sent me the top of a little cream cheesy thing, and it's the brand name is Gervais.
Oh, God, that is... Have you been... They've named a cheese after you.
I think it's a big French company, and this is from the Czech Republic. It's all over Europe, and so it
That would be a dream come true, wouldn't it, if they named a cheese after you?
No, I think it's probably ancestors, and so I've cheeses in my blood.
Sure.
Quite literally.
It literally is, yeah. Another heavy Friday night, was it?
It comes out of pores like those Play-Doh things. I can squeeze out different shapes.
Jane, bring the Stilton in. It's Friday night.
Oh, sumo wrestlers. I saw this thing about sumo wrestlers. Because they're athletes. They go into this thing because it's a big honour to be a sumo. It's absolutely
Really?
true, right? Yeah, absolutely true.
Yeah.
So you'd go along and you'd be 9 stone, and they have doctors there, so you have to eat to get big. Right? And this doctor was interviewed, Japanese doctor, and he's going, it is against, you'd think it's against the Hippocratic Oath, but whereas they do it anyway, I do it healthily. So he gives them diets of like, 10 pounds of rice, 9 pounds of fish, and things like that, and they get up. Now, because it's such an honour, it's almost a spiritual thing to be a great sumo and that. They have apprentices willing to, like when you're an apprentice, say, runner or something, you have to make the coffee, and when you're working an apprentice in the studio, you have to clean the floor and stuff. Do you know what apprentice sumo's job is?
An apprentice sumo? Go on.
They wipe the sumo wrestlers' arse because they can't reach. They literally can't reach.
Rubbish.
Right. We'll give out the
Who's
phone
taking that up as a profession?
I know. I imagine that. I'd love to be a sumo wrestler. It's a great honour, and I'd love to work under you.
Sure.
Sure. So what will I do? Start press ups first?
There'll be some press ups, yeah.
Okay,
There
yeah.
will be
What,
some
shall I
press
get
ups.
into the gym now? And
No, don't before you rush off.
Go on.
You
I'm
will-
starving.
No, I can understand that.
Go on.
Would you mind wiping my arse? Because
Right.
I've just...
You can't reach?
No, I can't get the arms back there. Can't get them down
Okay.
there. So, but I'll be honest with you, a lot of this Oriental food, it doesn't sit well with me.
So
it goes
it's-
straight through me, to be honest.
So it's quite messy.
It's quite messy down there. It's
Right,
quite runny.
okay,
So be
okay.
careful.
Okay.
You
No, it's a
wear
great
some gloves.
honour.
If you want to wear gloves, wear
I
gloves.
don't want to wear gloves. I don't want to wear gloves. It's
Well,
an
it's a-
honour.
it's an honour.
This apprenticeship is 2 years, isn't it?
You're not going to take my feces and cello, are you, as souvenirs or
No,
something? 'Cause it is,
I will
I
be
mean-
mainly getting fat myself.
Sure.
Wiping your ass.
Yeah.
Great honour.
Yeah, no, good. Well,
Great
no.
honour.
I don't do much sport. I think living in London, there's not that many areas you can go and... Actually, I'm probably wrong there.
Well, there's all the gyms and
Yeah,
sports clubs
I'm
and stuff.
probably
yeah.
wrong
And the
on that
parks
bit.
and the
pubs.
roads.
But
Yeah.
look how excited I was going round to your place, Ricky, and you
Yeah.
had a little garden.
Yeah.
I haven't got a garden.
We played
And it was-
football, didn't we?
And we had a little... Well, I did.
No, you were rubbish. I beat you in penalties, 5-2, and then I beat you on knockout, I think 10-4,
No.
and he always makes an excuse. He goes, no, start again. We didn't say that. I'm cracking up.
Steve, have you seen Ricky play football?
No, I've not really seen either
Right,
of you play
It's
football.
not football. You sort of do it like... it's like when you get a cat and you chuck it some wool, you sort of jump on it and lie on top of it so you can't get it, and then sort of kick it with his feet, lying on the floor.
Really?
No, what I mean is, he fouled me, and I was on one
Are you
hand...
sure he didn't just collapse because of all the stress and the exercise?
That's the other thing. That's
He
the
just
other thing.
tumbled on the floor,
I-
Stilton poured out of his mouth.
I was too strong for him.
No.
I was too strong for you.
Yeah, but you didn't last long, did you? It was like if football
I didn't want
matches,
to
if
last
football
long.
matches went.
They just bring me on for the first 10 minutes.
Who suggested that you two play football? Did you suggest this, Rick? I
Yeah, we
can't
went around
believe it.
there. Yeah, we had to go and football in the garden. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do we do?
I just had a look at your salamander.
Right, is that euphemism or? Because I know that when I first went to your house, you used to show your genitals to people a lot more than you do now. You definitely used to do that. You used to think that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is that you get to a certain age. Men of a certain ilk get to a certain age and just start.
got it out, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, when Ross came in, he did the same.
Yeah.
It's that weird.
Yeah, I suppose. I thought, you've seen it
Childlike
now. I thought
mentality.
you've seen it. You know, you weren't impressed the first time, to be
wasn't,
quite honest,
to be honest
Steve.
with you.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's it's
but,
nice. Always nice.
it's
Always a treat to see.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you make of Ricky's place? What do you make of it?
Again, that's not a euphemism. It doesn't mean that I've got it's like a flat fish.
Yeah.
Is-
Do you want to see my place?
Yeah,
There it is.
It's all right. I mean,
You've seen better.
the pictures you've got on the wall. I'm not keen on the same sort of art as you are.
Right.
What
Have
sort
you
of art? Because yours is quite sort of modern art.
He's got this big like bit of
Abstract.
canvas with like just loads of dark colours on it.
Yeah.
It looks really miserable.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, it sort of brings the place down. If you're going to sell it, that woman on Channel 5, the house doctor, if she came round, she'd say, take that down, you'll get double for it. It's just, I thought it was like a wall he was
Take that
testing.
down, get that salamander out, and just pop those back in your trousers.
Yeah.
It was like he didn't know what sort of colour to use on the wall, so he's like been putting a little bit on. No, that's not good. I'll use like a bit of a darker colour.
Yeah.
And it's just loads of different.
Are you Brian Sewell? Because you're saying.
So what kind of art do you like? I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I like
Athena.
I like Lowry.
Larry, the worst painter in the world. The most overrated.
You see, it depends. You're getting excited about
Rubbish.
your stuff you've got on. Lowry, right?
Yeah.
You can look at
He
his,
really is the Brian and Michael.
No.
Of the, well,
but it's real, isn't it? Right?
what do you mean it's real?
It's real. You look at his picture and you see like little disabled people walking about. You see kids
That's not real, then.
playing with like footballs. You've got your dad coming home from work, working in the factory. Got a little dog barking. It's life, right? And you can look at it for like 10 minutes, go away, go and watch telly or something for a bit, go back to it, and you'll see different things in it.
Will you?
That's
Really? What is it, like one of those magic
Sure,
eyes?
you sure that's not a telly?
Yeah, you've been
sure-
looking out the window, Carl.
You sure you weren't watching When the Boat Comes In?
People will agree with me. It's better than your stuff that you buy.
Let's play Educating Ricky.
Right.
Brilliant. Go. Right.
Right, so-
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Educating Ricky.
Right, what are we going for then? Hanging the bacon, airy Chinese kid, alien gives man a beard.
I think Alien gives man a beard.
I'd like
We're all
to do
excited
that.
about it.
Right, there's this fella, I think it happened in America, and he saw a bright light in the sky. And
God, if you're bored.
he stood there.
This is a true story, is it?
Yeah. He stood there
Yes, of course it isn't, Steve.
and he saw this bright light and it came closer and closer and it was a UFO, right?
Yep.
And he looked at it and it disappeared, right? And he gets back in his car
He looks in the mirror.
and he looks in the mirror.
Yep.
He's only got a beard.
He hasn't.
You sure it wasn't someone else who got in the car and he was still standing out there?
Right?
What?
And it turned out
Yeah.
he got home and said to his wife or his girlfriend, it's a bit weird. So I just got out of the car to look at a bright light, and I got back in the car and grew a beard, and she said, never mind your beard, where have you been for 3 days? And what had happened is...
He passed out because he was pissed.
No. The UFO had taken him for 3 days,
Yeah.
but he'd only thought that he'd only looked at it and it went away.
Yeah.
But what had happened is,
Yeah.
hook him.
Right, okay. I mean, was Will Smith or Tommy Lee Jones anything to do with this at all? Did you see this on a video maybe and thought it was an educational film?
No, it's from a book that some kind person sent in to me. Here.
Can I just ask again? Just again, I'm just throwing this right back at you. Do you think there's any other possible answer here? Right, a man is absent for 3 days from home.
He's
the
grown a
length
beard.
of time that it could take to grow a beard, lest we forget. What if he hadn't actually seen a bright light in the sky?
What if he was
he'd been
lying? What if he
drunk?
was lying?
He'd got knocked unconscious. He'd had a car crash.
Just
any number
lying.
of other
No,
things.
just lying.
Or he was just lying.
Yeah, he'd been on a bender getting pissed for 3
Yeah,
days
and that
with
was
his
his
mates.
excuse to his wife.
And they went, Dennis, what are you going to tell your wife?
Well, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
He's not going to believe I was out with you, lads.
Just say you're only away for a minute. No, I wasn't away from it because of the beard. Oh, yeah, look, it looks like you've been out for 3 days. Well, we have. That's
Exactly.
right. Okay, we've got to cover that then. Alien abduction.
Great one.
Okay, let's try that.
Do you see? That's a little scenario there that could have been played out.
So, when you say educating Ricky, what have I learnt from this? Never listen to you again. That's all I've learnt so far. Never listen to you.
Yeah, we'll add a little bit more in here, right? To
Well,
spice this
no,
up.
what do you mean add a little bit more?
We'll add a bit more to this what I'm educating you about,
Go on.
right? There's only a law in America that says if you touch a UFO, you're going to get done. Now, why would they make a rule? I don't know that. Do you know, like, all their rules have a code?
Carl, I genuinely do not know what you're talking about.
Right. Do you know, like, how here they might have...
Do you know
I
what?
have no idea.
Right.
Okay.
Do you know, like, over here...
I'm listening to Capital and these headphones. I got Foxy on from yesterday.
Right, let's bin that. Hairy Chinese kid. Right, well, we've talked about hairy people in the past.
True enough.
Haven't we?
Yeah.
You know, the little kids who grew up in woods and hung around with wolves and that.
Yeah, again, you're confusing it. Yeah, they're not. There were some people that were born very hirsute. They were not the people who were brought up with wolves.
Yeah.
You just put that together in your Homer Simpson type mind.
Right, well, this is like a sort of close to that sort of story.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, right, Chinese people aren't that hairy as a nation. No, seriously, that's a well-known fact. They don't have that much body hair and stuff.
Okay.
So this little kid who was born over there, he was like covered in stuff,
Was he?
and it was only his nose that wasn't hairy. The rest of his body was caked in hair, right? And his hair sort of
What
grew.
sort of hair was it? Was
Thick hair.
No, what I mean is, was it sort of like a pony's mane? So he just looked like an Ewok. You know what I mean? Just like hanging down, sort of straight, dark
Well,
hair.
in the picture, it looked like it grows
was it
from his
downy?
eyebrow. It grows from his eyebrows quite thick, and then it just goes all the way over
You
his
don't
head.
think it was just really long eyebrows that he'd done a comb over?
No, it was all over his body. It had a picture of like his back and that.
Yeah.
And
Had he styled it? Had he styled it at all? Did he have it in a quiff or?
no, it was just
hanging everywhere.
all over him.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know, this is a bit weird happening in China, where we're not normally that hairy.
That was the scientist speaking there.
Yeah.
And the local press and that were getting him down, calling him monkey boy and all this.
Oh,
And
thinking Chinese press.
but the doctor,
Yeah. Oh.
They're cruel, aren't they? It's like those game shows.
well,
That's Japanese, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's call that.
Yeah.
and the doctor said,
I was Carl talking through all that time while we were just like talking to each other then. Because I turned round and I still saw he was talking. Go on.
So anyway, the local press came in to see the hairy boy, the monkey
yeah,
boy.
and they were like being tight, taking the mickey out of him, and the doctor said
Throwing him nuts.
he's only hairy. Said he's a healthy young kid. The only faults he's got is he's got a little bit of eczema and a boil. He said everybody should just treat him the same, and I think he grew up a healthy kid. Yeah, so that's the.
That's
the end of the story.
That's not a story.
Why?
But I've got nothing. I don't know what to say to that. So someone in China was born slightly hairier than the rest, and he was normal apart from eczema and a boil. That to me isn't a story. But if it is, I've got a million. I mean, it's sort of like bloke from Manchester went a bit bolder than the rest, got a job on radio. He was normal. I mean, that's not a story, is it? Do you know what I mean?
All right then.
Hang on.
Hold on, he's got the big guns. You're not going to give us hanging bacon, are you?
Yeah.
Come on then.
Right.
This is
Come
what
on.
we were looking
Come
forward
on.
to. This is it.
No, this is a good one.
This is the one.
And this is a story, right? Do you know the saying, chewing the fat?
Good one. It's one of my favourites.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know what it means?
Talking.
Right. Well, do you know where it came from?
No.
Right, what they used to do years ago, when people didn't have much money.
Is this the same as throwing the baby out with the bathwater?
No, it's not. It's not the same saying, but
No, but I mean, is it as wrong as that was?
Well, let me tell you, and we'll
Go
see.
on. Okay.
Like people go out to work, and with the money, they'd buy food.
Oh yeah, go on. This is a good system. What? Go on. What do you mean? People go out to work and with the system.
And
Go on.
if you were quite well off, you might treat your family to some bacon, right? But do you know, like in these days, if people earn a lot of money, they might buy a nice suit or a car.
Yeah. So what are you saying? You're saying wait. Let me get this straight. You're saying that you go out to work and get money to buy things to live, and if you get sort of enough money to live and you've got some left over, you might treat yourself on like a suit or a car or something. Is that what you're?
Yeah.
Oh,
but
go on.
back then, if
Yeah.
they earned money, they'd say,
This is olden times.
"Yeah,
Okay.
let's get some bacon in," right? And what they'd do, they'd hang it in the kitchen
What, to show it off?
to show it off to all the neighbours and friends. Because if you had hanging bacon, it was like he's doing all right for himself.
Yeah.
That's one of your bacon.
So he had loads of bacon hanging up, and people would come round right? And whilst they stood in the kitchen talking about whatever they're talking about,
In olden times.
they'd say, "Do you want a bit of rind?" And they'd rip a little bit of rind off, and whilst they're having a chit chat,
Chewing the
they'd
fat.
chew on the rind.
Well, I think that's probably true.
And
I
they
haven't
say-
heard that, but that one to me sounds true. Do you see the difference between that one and a man was abducted and grew a beard? Can you see the difference in
Yeah, but
why
they're
I accept that
different-
story?
Different stories for different things.
Different stories for different things. So, see, that's a nice story. If it's true, I don't know if it's true. I mean, but it seems totally possible, viable, quite interesting. I won't be quoting that myself until I've verified it. But that's, I won't be telling anyone the bloke got in the car and he had a full-faced beard. Why has his car been towed away?
Because it was a quiet road. It
Was it?
wasn't in the way. So,
Are you filling in the blanks again? That wasn't in the book, was it, that you read? See, that's just the thing. Sometimes I think you make up bits of the story as though they were fact. That doesn't seem right.
well, that's all you can do, innit?
I asked Carl in the week, right, what animal would he never trust? Even if he got to know it and it was a pet and everything, what animal would he never trust? What was it?
Was this a wasp?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you trust a wasp, Carl?
I just think that
They're shifty.
all other animals, if you get them at an early age, you can sort of make them like you.
You can train them.
A wasp,
Nothing.
never.
Is there anything do you think there's anything you could do that would kind of win the favour and win the trust of a wasp? What would you have to do you think?
What if you had it from a little grub
Yeah.
and you fed it, he had its favourite marmalade?
It doesn't affect it though, does it? A bee dies, doesn't it, if it does it? So it's not going to use it willy-nilly.
That's easy for you to say.
But a wasp,
You think they sting arbitrarily? They just sting for the fun of it. They're like sort of like delinquent insects. Like
I
delinquent
think so, because
creatures,
last
yeah.
night, right, I mean, this is part of educating Ricky in a way, but something I learned last night was that tarantulas only bite you if you annoy it.
Right.
They don't, do you know how people say, oh, if you're in a sleeping bag living in a jungle, a spider will get in there and it'll bite you?
Yeah.
Apparently not, you've got to really annoy it. The thing that it really hates is having its leg sort of twisted.
It hates having his leg twisted. Right.
Yeah, but that's more for...
Is that what they said in a documentary?
No,
she said, this is the voice
almost certainly not, Steve. Almost certainly
Were you watching
not.
a documentary?
No, I was reading it.
Oh, you're reading it.
And it was this guy...
Was it scrawled on the wall in like a public toilet?
No, I'll tell you.
No.
I'll tell you more about that later.
Oh,
It's
right,
part
I'm
of
looking
the thing.
Educating Ricky.
So if you
Part of
don't
the
trust
community.
the evil wasp, what animal do you trust? What's your favourite?
Well, I
animal?
also I said to him, right, supposing your mind, right, your mind got put into any animal, right, and you've got to get from where you are now, right, to Glasgow, right, as an animal, right, but the authorities will be looking out for it,
Okay.
and it's shooting you, right, and what you went through loads, didn't you?
I was thinking about it for it must have took me about an hour.
So your mind has been put into an animal.
And then, so it's you
And
in
you-
this animal
right,
thinking
yeah.
you've got to get to somewhere.
but the authorities know you're in the animal?
Yeah, maybe your body is in Glasgow somewhere, and you've got to get this animal to get to you so it can transfer its mind back into your body.
But the government knows that I'm. trying to
Oh,
do
we've all had
this.
that conversation.
So the government's going. Carl can't have his own brain back.
I only have it with Carl. I don't like these conversations. Go on, yeah.
So you're on the way.
So think
to
about it.
Glasgow.
You think about it just for a second. So let's recap. Your body's in Scotland.
Right.
He's the only one that takes my question seriously.
Your brain is in London,
Uh-huh.
right? And there's like loads of security and stuff looking out in the sky for animals or looking on the field, seeing what's looking a bit suspicious. trying to get to your body.
And they're
to put
shooting
the
them.
brain, and they're shooting everything and killing all the animals. What thing would you pick to get your brain to Scotland that wouldn't get caught? And I reckon I've got the answer.
A wasp?
No, because think about it, a lot of people get irritated. If it sort of wanted to get a lift in a car going down the motorway, if someone's driving
was
there's a
hitchhiking,
wasp
yeah.
in the car, it's a
Yeah.
nightmare.
Yeah, sure.
Cause a right accident.
Yeah.
So think of something that people wouldn't,
And the clock's ticking as well.
You're taking this really very seriously,
Yeah,
aren't you, Carl?
you've only got a
You
couple
have
of...
thought, you've given this a lot of thought, haven't you? You have.
Yeah.
So something with speed.
Yeah, it's
Something
got...
that can travel quite speedily.
Well, that's... Yeah.
Well,
and something that's also inconspicuous.
Yeah.
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 Is that the sort of thing you're
Well,
that's what you're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it a creature that's native to this country?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
I've got no idea, Carl. What are you thinking?
Tell him.
A flea.
A flea?
Think
Tell him
about
why.
it. Think about it. Right, this flea, it's got my brain. It's dead small, the flea.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah.
And so he goes, right, I've got to get to Scotland. So it jumps on someone who's going to Euston Station.
Right.
They don't know it's there.
No.
The government can't see it.
God, it's Steve! Think of that statement. Think if you had just tuned in.
Yeah.
Now,
People get on the train, goes to Glasgow or Edinburgh, wherever in Scotland it is. It jumps off, it goes right, jumps on someone else who's going the way it needs to go, gets there, still no one's seen it, jumps on me, I get my brain back.
Yeah.
The government are like, phew.
And you feel confident that your brain would fit in that of a flea's?
Well, you said there was no problem with the size of it. You said you could.
there certainly wouldn't be.
So,
No.
I pretty much you could download everything you know into a flea.
yeah.
Well, that's genius.